there, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be all about brands that I only own one product from. For some reason or other, I have products that I like from certain brands, but nothing has spurred me to want to try more things from this brand, I'm guessing. I don't know exactly why. Samantha March originally did this video. I think she's the first one to do something of this kind, and since then a lot of people have done their own versions of the One Hit Wonder video. I will have Samantha's channel and her video, as well as any other videos like this that I can find online, all linked in the description box. I definitely recommend checking out Samantha's channel. I'm a big fan, and I have been a fan for a while. Also, I did a eyeshadow look using some of the eyeshadows from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project that I just put up last Sunday. I used the coral shade, the green, and the gold, and I really like how it looks. I'm not sure how it's coming off on camera, but I think in real life it looks really nice, so let me know what you think. Definitely not one to play with a ton of different colors at once, and I would never have thought to put the coral and the green together, but I think it looks really nice. Anyway, let's get started. I have 6 products. The very first one is from the brand Illamasqua, and this was originally available on Sephora's website, and I don't think it's on Sephora's website anymore. I only have one blush from them, and it's in the shade Cakey. It's a matte blush. I do love the formula. When you feel it with your finger, it is so soft and very, very pigmented. I have some foundation on the back of my hand. I hope you can't see that line of demarcation there, but this is the blush and what it looks like on my hand. And it's a very cool toned, bright, dull type of color. Not one I use all the time, but obviously I love it enough to have hit pan on the blush. And I keep saying, I've been saying for probably a year and a half now, ever since I started my channel, that I want to get more blushes from this brand. And I know that they have like cream products as well. They have highlighters, they have bronzers, they have other products that I would be interested in trying, but for some reason I just can't like get off my butt and go and purchase some more from this brand. And I think a portion of that is because I can't just go into a store and buy this. This is only available online for me, so if I want to buy new shades of something, I kind of have to rely on what the internet shows me through swatches. So I don't know. So yeah, if you have any products from Illamasqua that you recommend I try, or any other shades from this blush line, it's a gorgeous formula and I would definitely like to try more shades. So if you have any recommendations, let me know, especially if you're someone who lives in Europe or in the UK where this is a lot more easier to access, let a girl know. The next brand I want to talk about is RCMA. I only own the No Color powder from this brand. Honestly, I've looked at their product line, I've looked at their website, and really nothing seems to jump out at me. They do have a foundation palette that I think would be really useful for when I do makeup for my friends for their weddings and stuff, but I don't do freelance makeup enough to warrant purchasing like an $80 foundation palette, and the reviews are kind of either you love it or you hate it, and it seems like you need to have some type of skill in order to make those products work, like the little pigments in that palette. So I don't know if I would actually ever purchase that, even though it is what I would consider buying if I were to buy anything. They also have some concealer wheels that I think would be interesting, but just nothing from that brand seems to jump out at me. And I'm guessing RCMA is more for like makeup artists for their kit, which is probably why it's not something that interests me too much. I'm definitely the type of person who enjoys nice packaging on their products, and the packaging for the RCMA No Color powder is not the best. So I don't know if there's anything else from this brand I want to purchase. I think the powder's okay. It'll take me forever to use it up, and when it is done, I probably won't repurchase. Now the brand here is Butter London. I have their Glazing Eye Gloss in the shade Oil Slick. I've done tutorials using this, and I do think it's a gorgeous color. It's very unique. It's got like a purple and green and blue and pink type of shift to it. It's very interesting, and it's definitely something that I enjoy having. I got it whenever it was on sale on the Ulta website. I think I got it for like half off. And there are some things from Butter London that I think are pretty, but nothing that would make me go out of my way to buy them. I don't know why it is, because the packaging is really pretty, and some of their products, like whenever you swatch them in store, are really pretty. I don't know, maybe it's because I don't hear a lot about this brand on YouTube, and so I don't know which products would be the best ones to try. It's a more expensive brand on top of that. I don't know if I wouldn't consider it super high-end, but it is more of like a mid-range. It is in the prestige section in Ulta. And so I think the price point and not really sure of like whether or not the products are worth buying kind of hold me back. And I like this shade, but I don't use single liquidy shades like this often enough to have multiple shades. Not really a cream or liquid eyeshadow type of person in general, especially on an everyday basis. So I don't know if there's anything from this brand that I would want to get, but once again, if you have any suggestions for things that I should try from Better London, please let me know. The next brand I want to talk about is Besame, and the only product I own from this brand is the brightening powder. I used to have a trio of these with different colors. So there was a purple one, a pink one, and a yellow one. They're all the same powder formula and they're all the same product. They just have different undertones for different parts of your face. Even though that is a trio, it is technically the same product, so I consider it only being one product. And I used up the purple one a long time ago, and I decluttered the yellow one because it looked too yellow under my under eyes, and I only have this one left. So currently, at the moment, this is the only Besame product I have in my collection, and it's the only formula or product that I've ever tried. I think the Besame packaging and the story behind it is very interesting. It's definitely a brand I could see myself supporting more. They have gorgeous packaging on their lipsticks. Each of their shades is inspired by certain decades or years in history, and that's definitely something that would be very interesting for me to try. They have very unique the ways that they cut the bullet of the lipstick, so it's got like a flat edge so that you can kind of create a more shaped Cupid's bow, I guess. They even had a Snow White collection where all of their packaging was inspired by Snow White, and I thought that was beautiful. There is a pink lipstick that I would be interested in trying again. Once I use up this rose powder, I would like to buy a full size of the purple version of this. I think that one is my favorite of the three that I tried, and I think it looks so nice under the under eyes. Another thing about Besame is they used to have more products available on the Sephora website, but now I think they only have like one product on the Sephora website. So if I want to buy anything, I have to go straight to the Besame website, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things isn't that big of a deal, but I don't know, it's just like an extra hurdle for me in my mind. I don't know. The next brand I want to talk about is Hard Candy. I only own a single blush from this brand. It's in the shade Living Doll. It's a gorgeous purpley pink. It's got a silver sheen to it. And I think I listed this as the most beautiful blush color that I own in a blush tag that I did last summer, and I still stand by that. I still think it's beautiful. Actually, it was 2 summers ago. It was 2 Julys ago. And I still stand by it even after all that time, even after all the blushes I've purchased and tried since then. I think it's a gorgeous color. Nothing about the other shades screams to me, and nothing about the rest of the brand really catches my eye. I know that sounds mean, especially considering how affordable this brand is. I am surprised that there really isn't anything else from the brand that jumps out to me. I do hear about this brand pretty regularly on YouTube in reviews. People talk about their illuminators, they talk about their eyeshadows sometimes, and I don't know, whenever I go to see the display of all the Hard Candy stuff, my eye always goes back to this blush, and I'm like, I already own that blush, I don't need it. None of the other blushes, none of the other colors really speak to me. So I don't know, I think I'm good with just this product. And the very last one is from Melt Cosmetics. I only own one product, and it is the highlighter in the shade Stargazer. And I contemplated purchasing this whenever I saw some reviews about it when it first came out. It is a beautiful highlighter. It's expensive though. It's like $40, I think. And the reason I didn't purchase it then was because it's expensive and I could only access Melt Cosmetics online. So I didn't even know if it would match me once it got here. And then I figured if I wanted to return it, it would be costly to ship it back. And I just didn't want to go through all the hassle. But then I went to IMATS in Toronto this past September, and I got to play around with some of the melt stacks and some of the highlighters in person and actually swatch them, and I fell in love with Stargazer. I purchased it at a discounted rate because like at IMATS sometimes you get discounts, so I think I got it for like 20 or 30% off, which was great. They didn't have any of the eyeshadow palettes. If there were, I would have purchased probably an eyeshadow palette as well, but they only had the stacks. I just feel like the packaging of the melt stacks is a little bit too cumbersome for my taste. I'm not sure if the Gemini palette is still available. I know it was limited edition and then it came back, but it's out of stock again on the website, and I don't know if it's gone for good or if it'll come back. I really love the tones of those greens and of those peaches. I think that would be an amazing palette to own. I hear Kat from Kitschnitz rave about that palette, and it only makes me want it even more. So there are some things from the Melt brand that I would love to purchase if they are available. But once again, because it is more expensive and because it's a brand that I can only access online for the most part, it makes me less likely to want to buy things because I'm the type of person who wants to go in and swatch it and really get a feel for the packaging and get a feel for what it looks like in real life before I purchase it, especially if it's more expensive. If there was a Milk Cosmetics counter somewhere near me, you best bet I'd probably have a lot more of their products, but I don't know. So those are all of the brands that I only own one product from. If you have any products like this, where there's a brand where you only own one thing and it's because you're not interested in anything else, or if you only own one thing and you don't know why you don't own more from the brand, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to see what your versions of this are. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!